All right, we're going to get started here today, just in a comfortable seated position on your mat. So you can let your hips sink into the mat, stacking your vertebrae on top of one another. Noticing if maybe you feel yourself tense up, trying to keep an upright position. Try to see if you can let some of that go, just letting it be natural. Your hands can come to your knees. You can let your eyes close here. Taking some time here at the start of class to center in, getting your mind and your body prepared for the next 45 minutes. Start to deepen the breath here. Breathe in through the nose and fill up the lungs completely. Then exhale, keeping the mouth closed, letting the air flow out your nose. But take a few more breaths just like this, starting to deepen the breath, open up the lungs. Good. Each inhale, imagine letting your diaphragm come down, your pelvic floor relax down to the mat. And then exhale, everything lifts back up. And when you're ready, keeping your hands where they are on your knees, let's start to just bring our chin down to our chest. Good, and then we'll start to make some neck circles. So bringing your left ear to your left shoulder, and maybe looking up towards the ceiling, bringing the back of the head towards the back. Good, and then coming over to the side. Take some really slow neck circles here, really getting into each neck muscle. Maybe stopping if you feel a good stretch in one position. Good, let's come back to center. We're gonna bring our hands directly behind our head. So they're almost at the base of your neck. We're gonna take kind of similar to a cat-cow seated, but we're gonna add in some arms to kind of expand our chest and bring it back together. Really good cue for us here. So keeping your hands maybe interlaced behind your head. Take a deep inhale as you open up the chest. So your shoulder blades are squeezing together. And then exhale, bring your elbows to touch in front of you, round the back. Good, inhale, expand out. Exhale, round it in. Good, inhale, tilting your pelvis forward. And then exhale, round it back. Take a few more just at your own pace here. Really squeezing the shoulder blades at the top. And then exhale. Maybe bring your chin to your chest. But take one more inhale and exhale. Good. Extend your left leg long out in front of you. The right ankle crosses over the left knee. You can keep this bottom leg straight, or you can tuck it underneath you, whatever you're feeling today. Bring your right hand back behind you. Left fingertips reach up to extend the spine first. Good. Exhale, hook that elbow outside the right knee. And just start to twist over to the right, keeping that length in the spine. Good. Exhale, come back. Maybe add in a little counter twist over to the left. Then switch out the legs. Right leg goes long, left ankle crosses over. Extend the crown of the head up, and then add in your twist. Maybe you gaze over the back shoulder, adding the neck into the twist. Good. Let's come back, counter twist to the right. And bring both knees in towards your chest. You can massage out the back by rocking up and down the length of your mat, building some momentum. And then coming over to your hands and knees when you're ready, however you want to get there. Good. So making sure your shoulders are directly over your hands. Your knees are underneath your hips. Then imagine engaging your lower abdominals, neutral spine here. Good. Let's bring the left hand up back behind our head again. And on our inhale, we're going to open up to the left. Good. Exhale, come down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, come down. Try to keep your hips where they're at so that this twist is really coming from the thoracic area. Good. One more time. Inhale, squeeze at the top. Exhale, plant the left hand. We'll take that on the other side. Right hand comes behind your head. And then inhale, squeeze it up. Exhale, bring the right elbow in. Good. Check it back into your core here. See if you've lost maybe a little bit of that, and let's bring it back together. So imagine zipping your lower ribs together. Good. Inhale, squeeze up. Let's take one more here. Good. Place your hands down onto the mat. We'll come into a quick child's pose. Send your hips to your heels. Then arms reach out long. Let your forehead rest on the mat here. Take some time to remind yourself maybe why you logged on today, maybe why you got on your mat. You know, maybe yoga does something for you that it doesn't do for someone else, and that's something to be so happy about, very grateful for. Let's come back to kind of our thoughts around this. Good, we'll start to deepen the breath here in our child's pose. Take a deep inhale and let your belly button drop towards the ground. Fill up the lungs. Exhale, bring the belly button back towards the spine. Good, inhale, fill it up. Exhale, squeeze all the air out. Good, one more here. Inhale deeply. This time, open your mouth. Exhale as you sigh it out. Good, come back up to your tabletop position. We'll find our first downward facing dog. So spread your fingertips wide, tuck your back toes under, and send your hips up towards the ceiling. Good, take some time here to pedal it out. Maybe bending into both knees, stretching out the back of the leg. Maybe letting your head hang heavy, feeling the length that creates in your spine. Good, inhale, let's come over to our high plank pose. Good, hold it here for just a moment. Maybe check into your hips, maybe you need to sink them down just a little bit. And then drop your knees, untuck your toes. As you exhale, the elbows stay in at your sides, lowering you down. Inhale, press through the palms and look up. Good, exhale, tuck your back toes under, send your hips high. Good, that's one option for your vinyasa flow. Otherwise, let's take another round. Inhale, high plank pose. Exhale, you can keep the legs straight. Lower halfway down into a half plank. Good, inhale, upward facing dog, tops of your feet to the mat. Exhale, tuck your back toes under, send the hips high. Awesome, moving into our sun salutation, so the right leg goes high. Three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Drop the back knee, hook your thumbs, and like a wave, you rise up. Exhale, plant the hands and step forward. Good, hook the thumbs together, bend your knees, and inhale like a wave, you'll rise up, letting your head come last. Good, hands overhead. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. Good, inhale, circle the arms overhead. And then exhale, forward fold, hands come through the center. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. The crown of your head reaches forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step both feet back to your high plank pose, and then move through your choice of vinyasa flow. Exhale, lowers you down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, hips go high. Good, take that on the left. Left toes long, back behind you. Exhale, step it through. Drop that back knee, hook your thumbs and rise. Exhale, plant the hands and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hook the thumbs, bend the knees. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. You know what's coming. Let's move through your choice of flow. Always an option to skip a flow and just meet us in downward facing dog. Good, inhale, right toes long. Exhale, step it through. Drop the back knee. Hook your thumbs and rise. This time, exhale, prayer comes through to heart center. And left elbow is gonna hook outside the right knee. So you're coming into this twist. Similar to a chair twist. This time we're in a low lunge. So press through the palms to open up that top shoulder. Maybe your gaze follows to the back. Good, inhale, come back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left toes in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, bend the knees, hook the thumbs, and like a wave, you'll rise up. Exhale, hands come through. Inhale, reach the arms out and then long. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the toes back, move through your flow. Exhale, lowers you down. Inhale, shine the chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left toes long. Exhale, step it through. Drop that back knee, hook your thumbs and rise. Exhale, prayer comes through, palms are touching, and twist over to the left, right elbow outside left knee. Good, imagine your ribs twisting around the spine, opening up to the left side. Good, inhale, come back to center. Exhale, plant the hands and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Good, bend the knees, hook the thumbs, and like a wave, you'll rise up. Exhale, hands come through. Good, inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, forward fold. Separate the feet about hips width distance. Take a forward fold of your choice. Maybe you bring opposite hand to opposite elbow and just sway back and forth. Good, come back to center. Toes touch at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. And then slowly lower on your exhale, move through your flow. Good, inhale, the right toes go long. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists, squeeze it in. Inhale, right toes long. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Lift your right fingertips high for a low lunge twist. Your back leg is nice and straight. Pull that knee up towards the ceiling. Good, your gaze can follow to the ceiling, looking up at your fingertips. Exhale, plant the right hand down. On your inhale, both arms come overhead, coming into your crescent lunge. Good, deep bend in the front leg. Arms come overhead. Your exhale is going to open you up for your warrior two. Swivel that back heel down. Find your solid foundation here. So heel to heel alignment, deep bend in that front leg. Arms reach to both sides of the room. Then check into your shoulders and your hips. See if you can lift up. Awesome. Good, inhale, straighten that front leg, arms come overhead to touch. Exhale, warrior two. Dancing warrior, you have two more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, comes down. Good, inhale, touch at the top. Exhale, sink the hips low. Good, this time open up so that both toes are facing out, coming into this goddess pose. So your heels are in, toes facing out, and we're gonna bring a deep bend to the knees. So we're really gonna be opening up the front of the hips here. Good, your hands can come to your knees. Sink those hips just a little bit lower. Good, bringing both hands to your knees. Your toes can either face forward if they want, otherwise they can stay where they're at. And then start to sink one shoulder in, coming into a twist. Good, come back through center. Exhale, sink that shoulder down. Connect this with your breath. So inhale brings you back up. Exhale sinks your shoulder down. Good, inhale up. Exhale down. Two more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good, when you come back to center, straighten both legs out. Bring your hands to your hips, and then your toes can face forward. When you're ready, start to hinge at the hips. Keep a long spine here. We're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Good, when you get there, you can bring your hands down to the ground. You can play around here. Maybe you want to, come try an inversion on your forearms. Play around with whatever makes sense to you today. Maybe you reach for one ankle and then the other. But when you're ready, come back to center. Start to walk your hands over to your left foot. So you're coming to the back of the mat. Good, in a deep low lunge here, left fingertips come high. Good, exhale, plant that hand. Step your left toes back to a three-legged dog. Good, bend the knee and open the hip. Letting your hips stack on top of one another. Maybe you add in some ankle circles here. Good, let's come back to center. Plant both toes on the floor. And then go through your vinyasa flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. We'll take that on the other side. Good, take one deep clearing breath here when you get to your downward facing dog. Good, left toes go up on an inhale. Exhale, left knee to nose. Good, inhale, left toes high. Exhale, step your foot between your hands, open up to the left. Good, check back into that back leg. See if you can pull it up in space just a little bit. Good, exhale, plant the hands. Keep your legs where they are. Both toes are facing forward. And then inhale the arms overhead, coming into your crescent lunge. Good, check in here to your low spine. So if you feel that your pelvis is tilted forward and you kind of have this like curve in your low back, see if you can pull that in. So use your core, tilt your tailbone underneath you, but keep that strength in the back leg. Good, so will the back heel down, open up for your warrior two. Good, maybe you widen your stance just a little bit to get that nice deep bend in the front leg. And then check into that front knee. See if you can pull it towards the pinky side of the mat to open up that leg, that hip. Good, inhale, straighten the front leg, arms come to touch. Exhale, sink those hips low. Good, inhale as you rise. Exhale, come down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sink it down. Good, bring that right heel in, coming into your goddess pose. So set this up first, finding a nice deep hip opener here. Good, your hands can come to your knees again. We'll take a couple more of those twists. Connect it with your breath. Exhale, lowers you down. Good, inhale, come back to center. Exhale, one shoulder drops. Inhale. Exhale. Good, take one more to the other side. Good, let's come back. Let's bring the legs a little bit closer in. We're gonna kind of work on our legs. A little bit of a Pilates move, but we'll work it in here. So your hands can come to your hips. Good, so we're gonna lift the left heel off the mat. Try to keep your core engaged so that you are protecting that low back. So almost tucking your tailbone underneath you. Good, place that left heel down, lift the right one up. Good. We're gonna slowly start going from side to side. So right heel up, left heel up. Good, really focus on your back here. Imagine your back is up against a wall. Good, one more on the right side. And then see if you can challenge yourself by raising both. Good, challenging the balance. See if you can hold it there. Good, heels down. Inhale, arms overhead. 5-pointed star. Exhale, hands through to heart center and forward fold. Your toes can start to face forward when you get here. Woo, good job. Play around here. Maybe you want to bend into one knee and then the other. Good, as you bend into one leg, maybe you want to test your balance. Coming up onto your tippy toes, bringing your hands to your heart. Good, let's come back to center. Swivel your hands to frame your right foot at the top of your mat. Step your right toes back and then move through your one last flow. Good, start to walk your toes up towards the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come overhead, coming up to standing. Good, exhale, hands through to heart center. We'll play around with taking a tree pose today. So I'll run you through kind of a few different options for you. To start, let's focus on really grounding our foot into the mat, wherever you are. So take your left foot and start to raise each toe off the mat, and then place them back down. Good, maybe you lift the heel and place that back down so that you're really feeling all points of pressure on that foot. Good, when you're ready, we'll start to shift our weight over to the left, bringing our center of gravity over our base of support. And then when you're ready, your right heel can come either kickstand onto the ground, bringing your heel to the inside of the left ankle. You can bring it up to the calf, or you can play around with grabbing it and pressing it into the left thigh. Wherever you are and whatever variation you take, find a spot out in front of you, just in front of your mat, to focus on as you get here. Good, imagine your foot is pressing into the thigh and your thigh is pressing back. To really engage the muscles here, making this an active pose. Good, your hands can start to reach out, growing your tree, testing your balance just a bit. Good, come back to center. Bring your right knee forward and then step the right foot down. We'll take that on the other side. So lifting each toe off of the mat. Find your foundation here for this balancing pose. And then find whatever variation makes sense on this side, knowing that each side is different. So maybe you want to try something new on this side. Play around. Good, another little cue I like to give is to imagine lifting up from that standing hip and almost squeezing it in towards the center. So you're contracting those abductors to really stabilize that leg. Good, hands can reach out long. Good, take a deep inhale here. Exhale, hands can come back to center. Bring your left knee forward first. Place the left foot on the mat. Awesome, shake that out here. Good, inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, forward fold at the top of your mat. Good, step both feet back, coming into your downward facing dog. Send your hips high. Good, inhale, reach the right toes long. We're gonna take our pigeon pose here. So bring that shin directly behind the wrists and drop down onto that left leg. Good, walk your hands back towards your hips. Really square them off, so maybe press into the ground to lift your hips up quick, can't talk. And then place the hips back down where they feel centered. Good, when you're ready, keeping the spine long, you can start to walk your hands out in front of you. Options, you can come onto your palms and just stay right here as long as you feel a stretch in that outer hip. Right outer hip. I'm really messing up my words. And then slowly, if you want to, you can start to bring yourself down towards the mat. Good, maybe your forehead rests on the mat. Be gentle to yourself in this pose. Noticing how your breath is starting to calm down. Coming into this static posture where we're kind of surrendering into our mat. Maybe noticing any thoughts or feelings that pop up during this time. Let them come without judgment. Good, and then start to walk your hands back up underneath you. Plant your hands at the front of your mat. Tuck your back toes under and lift your left toes up. Sorry, your left knee up. Step that right foot back. Send the hips high for your downward facing dog. Good, we'll take that on the other side. Left toes go long. Exhale, bring it through for your pigeon pose on the other side. Good, send those right toes long back behind you. So kind of checking in, see if they're directly center behind you instead of, maybe out to the side. And then square off your hips. And start to sink into your mat. Take this to your degree. If this feels good, letting your forehead rest on the mat, feel free. Otherwise, you can find some other sort of support. Help bring the ground up to you. Good. When you're ready, start to walk your hands up towards your hips. And then tuck your back toes under, swivel around onto that left hip, bringing both legs out in front of you. Good. Shake them out here. And then let's come so that we're sitting on the front of our sits bones. So we almost have kind of like a forward tilt of our pelvis. And then inhale, reach the arms up nice and long. We're going to take a long leg forward fold. Just let your forehead and chest reach towards your legs. They're probably not going to touch. That is a-okay. Your legs can be bent a little bit if that feels good to you. We're more so just finding some weight on our head, our neck, and our back. Using gravity to bring us into this forward fold. Good. Start to walk your hands back up, slowly letting your head come last. Bring both knees in towards your chest. We'll roll onto our backs. Good. When you get there, we'll take a happy baby pose. Just grab hold of your two big toes. And then let your legs fall out to the side, opening up the hip. But maybe you find some sway or rocking back and forth. Maybe you want to be still in this moment. Listen to your own body. Good. When you're ready, let your right leg go. Keep hold of your left leg. And then we're going to play around with bringing our bent leg, bringing the heel towards the groin, and then kind of just letting our left knee fall open to the side. So if you want to really try to get that foot up in there into the crease of the hip, feel free to do so. You can hold on to it with your hand and then just let that knee fall out to the side. But another option is just to stack the left ankle over the right knee. And then just let yourself be still here in this moment. Good, let's come back to center. Left leg goes long. Grab hold of that right toe. And then once again, take this to your degree. Maybe bring the foot up towards the hip crease. Letting the right knee fall out to the side, whatever position you choose. Good, bring that knee back in. One last squeeze. So bring both knees to chest. Wrap your arms around the shins and then just give yourself one last hug before we find our final resting posture. Good, you can find whatever pose makes sense to you. Maybe it's bringing the knees together and feet out wide, or sending your legs long out in front of you. Your hands are gonna come to your sides. And then just let your body be still here on the mat for a few moments. It's often very difficult for us to kind of slow our day down and find these moments of stillness and calm. So take advantage of that right now. Maybe you let your eyes close. Awesome. You can stay here in this moment for as long as you'd like. But if you're ready to move on the rest of your Monday, you can start to wake up the toes and the fingers, wiggling them around in space. And then start to bend your knees up towards the ceiling. And then let your knees fall to one side, coming over into kind of like this rolled up ball onto your side. Your head can rest on your arm. Good, and then slowly and gently pressing your way up to a comfortable seat. Taking your time to get there. Your legs can come to cross in front. Your hands can come to your knees, or they can come to touch in front of your heart. Just gently let your eyes close here for one last moment of class. Bring some compassion with you into your day and into the rest of your week. Thank you for taking 45 minutes out of your day to show yourself some compassion by moving and breathing along with all of us. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.